7 co-stars who couldn't stand the sight of each other. Dustin Hoffman and Meryl Streep. The tension that took place between Ted and Joanna in Robert Benton's Kramer vs. Kramer wasn't exactly acting. Dustin Hoffman and Meryl Streep actually hated each other while filming the 70s drama, and to this day, they still do. It was one of Streep's first major movie roles, but it wasn't a great experience for her. That part where Ted slaps Joanna in the face happens to be very real. It was supposed to be fake, but Hoffman actually hit her without any warning. He even reportedly yelled at Streep when disliking a scene and went so far as to taunt her about her late husband. Hoffman is notorious for being a bad co-star, so Streep hasn't been the only actress to actually call him out. They haven't worked together ever since. Leonardo DiCaprio and Claire Danes. The whimsical romance that took place between the most famous couple in literature was actually fake in Baz Luhrmann's Shakespeare adaptation. Leonardo DiCaprio was a little bit of a prankster back in the day, which Claire Danes found to be very irritating. On the other hand, Kate Winslet found it rather amusing on the set of Titanic, and they've remained lifelong friends. Apparently, Claire Danes thought DiCaprio was incredibly immature when filming Romeo plus Juliet, and in response, he found Danes to be a little too uptight. Hate might be a strong word, but a certain dislike for each other meant that the two barely spoke off-screen during production. Sarah Jessica Parker and Kim Cattrall. 6 years and 6 seasons is a long time to be working in such close proximity to someone, so it's definitely understandable that things could get a little tense at times. Despite being inseparable besties in the iconic HBO show SATC, Sarah Jessica Parker and Kim Cattrall kept things on a very strict professional basis in real life. Sources claim that significant salary differences and on-set disagreements made the two stop speaking at one point. This made things quite awkward for the rest of the cast and crew. Maybe not the extremely dramatic feud that gossip columns made it out to be, but it definitely got tense. Ryan Gosling and Rachel McAdams. Here we have yet another young budding romance that brought viewers to tears. Noah and Allie made for a perfect love story in The Notebook. But its actors, Ryan Gosling and Rachel McAdams, reportedly despised each other before their famous fling in the mid-2000s. Things had even gotten off on the wrong foot during filming. Director Nick Cassavetes stated that the actors were often seen screaming at each other between takes. Gosling even wanted McAdams immediately kicked off the project. Cassavetes ultimately made the two work things out so they could continue filming. 2 years later, the actors had decided to meet up in New York and then start over with a clean slate. Gosling has since admitted he had been wrong about McAdams and found her to be quite an inspirational girlfriend. Patrick Swayze and Jennifer Grey. The steam coming off the dance routines in Dirty Dancing might have been due to rage rather than passion. Patrick Swayze apparently found Jennifer Grey's silly moods tedious when faced with several retakes and became very easily frustrated at her struggles with all the choreography. Even though they showed a promise of chemistry during the screen test, the two would constantly argue on set. Director Emil Ardolino would also show them their screen tests before filming to try his best to trigger their initial spark, but to no avail. However, Grey did admit that their fiery disagreements definitely helped with the intensity of their characters' relationship in Dirty Dancing. The 80s classic wasn't even the first time for friction between the actors. In Red Dawn, Swayze had refused to break character as the guerrilla leader. He eventually began ordering people around on set, which Grey didn't appreciate. Blake Lively and Leighton Meester. Sorry, Gossip Girl fans, but your favorite Upper East Siders aren't exactly as close as you thought they were. Lively and Meester reportedly had quite a strained relationship behind the scenes, which sources had attributed to extremely long working days on set. One Gossip Girl source went ahead and spelled out the actresses' issues with each other, plainly stating that Leighton thinks Blake is an egomaniac who only views her time on the TV set as slumming, and Blake simply feels stifled. In response to all the drama, Lively's publicist didn't even bother trying to spin the rumors. A statement read that Leighton and Blake have never been best friends and never professed to be. Bette Davis and Joan Crawford. Joan Crawford and Bette Davis's feud on the set of Whatever Happened to Baby Jane was so incredibly infamous that it was even the subject of the first season of Ryan Murphy's anthology series, Feud. The drama between the Hollywood legends was said to have begun when Crawford married Franchot Tone, who happened to be the love of Davis's life. Years later, in an interview, Davis said that she had never forgiven Crawford and never even will.